You're welcome back. Now let's take a look at some sports. Here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Yes, indeed, great news for fans of Rio Olympic Games quarterfinalist Nigeria's Aronot Quadri, who has moved up to 25th in the September ranking released by the International Table Tennis Federation today. Quadri, who put up a stunning performance in Rio to become the first African to play in the last 8 of the Games, amassed 152 points from his games in Brazil. From 2,305 points he had in the August ranking, Quadri now has 2,457 points to become the first player in Africa to be rated in the top 25 in the world. Apart from rising to his present ranking, Quadri was also listed among the most active players in the world based on his rise from 40th in August to 25th at present. Kaduna and Ibadan will host the semi-finals of this year's Federation Cup later this month. The first semi-final will be at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna between Crown FC and FC Ifeanyi on September the 25th, while the second semi-final is at the Adamasingba Stadium in Ibadan between Eyimba and Nasarawa United, which will be played on October the 2nd. The winners of the semis will clash in the final at a venue yet to be announced, even though Lagos, which has hosted the past 4 finals, may likely host the Cup final again. The winners of the Cup competition will represent Nigeria in next year's CAF Confederation Cup. The Women's Federation Cup semi-finals will be in Enugu. European clubs are anticipating another windfall after changes to the Champions League, and they say the new system will be fairer and make them richer as well. Well, the clubs applauded the guaranteed 4 places for its 4 top-ranked leagues in the lucrative UEFA Champions League group stage. Revenue from the Champions League and Europa Leagues are expected to jump from $2.62 billion to around $3.1 billion from the 2018 to 2019 season, when the changes announced by UEFA come into force.
Found at the end a good compromise, which is maybe not the best for nobody, but I believe the most important thing is there are no winners and no losers. I believe the new concept is not a revolution, it's just an evolution. And I'm convinced that at the end everybody will benefit. I would like to give you the example of my colleague Real Madrid, who, as everybody knows, last year won the Champions League title, and kicking out in the semis Manchester City. But at the end, Manchester City got much more money thanks to their market pool than Real Madrid as winner. And I believe that was not very fair and serious, and thus that had been a bit corrected by UEFA.
German second seed Angelique Kerber reached the semi-finals of the US Open with a comprehensive straight sets win over Italian Roberta Vinci. Kerber defeated the 2015 finalist 7-5, 6-love and will next face Caroline Wozniacki or Anastasia Sevastova. In the men's draw, France's Gaël Monfils outplayed compatriot Lucas Pouille in the 6-4, 6-3, 6-3 victory. Monfils, seeded 10th, will play fellow Frenchman Jo-Wilfried Tsonga or top seed Novak Djokovic in the last 4. And world number 1 Serena Williams has stormed into the US Open quarterfinals in record smashing style by easing past Kazakhstan's Yaroslava Shvedova 6-2, 6-3 to claim her record 308th Grand Slam match win. The world number 1 needed just 68 minutes on the Arthur Ashe Stadium court to overwhelm her opponent and surpass Roger Federer on the all-time list of matches won at tennis's 4 Blue Rebound events. Up next for Williams in a few hours is Romanian 5th seed Simona Halep. Meanwhile, Karolina Pliskova ruined any chance of another Flushing Meadows sister showdown as she claimed a dramatic 4-6, 6-4, 7-6 win over 6th seed Venus Williams. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. That's a wrap on sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
In International intervention in the political crisis in Gabon is growing, with the European Union describing a clear anomaly in results from President Bongo's home province. The Electoral Commission said voter turnout in the province was as high as 99.93%. The percentage of votes cast for President Bongo was 95%. An uneasy calm rests upon the country as security forces clamp down on protesters supporting main challenger Jean Ping. Clashes erupted soon after the results were announced last Tuesday, leading to the torching of the country's national parliament. Mr. Ping last week called for international intervention, especially from France, its former colonial master. By Friday, he declared himself president and called for calm. And despite the dangers of trying to get to Europe illegally, thousands of migrants from Africa are still making the perilous journey, raising fears of human trafficking in some cases. The fears have been established by the UN Children's Fund, which revealed that 500,000 children have risked exploitation as the refugee and migrant crisis turns into big business for smugglers.
1 year after the publication of the shocking photograph of a dead toddler washed up on a beach in Turkey sparked a wave of outrage across the world, United Nations spokesperson in Geneva reminds journalists of the heavy human price of mass migration across the Mediterranean.
So far this year, 1 person has died for every 42 crossing from North Africa to Italy, compared to 1 in every 52 last year. This makes 2016 to date the deadliest year on record in the central Mediterranean.
UNHCR is urging governments and their national partners to commit to the development and implementation of national integration plans and for a clear commitment to the prevention of discrimination. Meanwhile, the UN Children's Fund reveals that 500,000 children have risked exploitation as the refugee and migrant crisis turns into a big business for smugglers. UNICEF has gathered information from a wide range of sources in order to shine a light on the underworld of migrant smuggling in Europe. Although the tide of refugees and migrations has considerably slowed down, border closures, tightened migration policies and the EU-Turkey agreement have led these criminal groups to adopt well-established drugs and arms smuggling routes to carry refugees.
And back home here in Nigeria, the patriarch of the Ibru family in Delta State, Chief Michael Ibru, has died at the age of 86. A statement by the family says the late Chief Ibru died peacefully at a medical facility where he had been receiving treatment in the United States in the early hours of today. The late business mogul founded the Ibru organization in 1956, a company that's become one of the largest conglomerates in Nigeria with interests in diverse sectors of the economy. And may his soul rest in peace. And the main news again. The Bring Back Our Girls campaign organization was today challenged by a rival group in Abuja during a protest march. The new group, calling itself With Buhari We Stand, asked the BBOG to allow President Buhari work for Nigerians. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Renyato. Do have a good night.
This is Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting.